Good morning, art historians, and welcome to one of my other many art classrooms that I teach in throughout the school that I work at. So I wanted to do a really quick week 3 summary video, just so that way we can all be on the same page about our quizzes, our discussions, and then just some announcements and some things to look for when we move into week 4, which starts today. So first of all, as we move into week 4, I do want to mention that you have your first exam. So this is a midterm. It covers weeks 1 through 4. You will also have an exam in week 8, which will cover weeks 6 through 8. 5 through 8. So I would highly recommend completing one of these 2 exams if you're experiencing a really busy week this week and you'd like to wait for the second one in week 8. That's perfectly fine. Just please keep in mind only one of these low scores will drop in this category. So what that means is if you end up skipping this exam and get a 0 and then you get to week 8 and you are a little bit too overwhelmed with just life or other work things and skip that exam as well, that 0 will remain, or at least one of them will remain. So I don't know, it might just be a good idea to take a look at this midterm and this first exam and get a little head start on that. Now, that being said, we are also looking at a writing assignment for week 4. If you remember, we have those on every even week. So this is another writing assignment. 2 of these writing assignment scores will drop. So if you've completed one for week 2, this will be your second one for week 4. And then there will be another writing assignment in week 6 and a 4th one in week 8. In terms of that writing assignment in week 8, it does ask you to pull works of art from every single unit from every single week. So that can be a lot of work, I will admit. It's already open and active and ready for you to view the directions. So this might be a nice opportunity to maybe create, the template for what you're working on for that writing assignment, that timeline mapping, whether it's a PowerPoint, whether it's a Word doc, whatever, Canva, whatever your approach is. You might want to get that started and start adding a piece every time you get to it with your notes in your units. It would just make it nice and easy to just hit submit when we get to end of week 8, because for week 8 there actually is only 1 unit. It's a little bit of a shorter workload week, so that's my recommendation. And then last but not least, your formal analysis paper. So this is something that is outside of any of the lower score dropping conditions or any of that stuff that might have been mentioned so far. This is something that is a core assignment. You cannot pass this class without submitting the formal analysis paper. This is something that Lindenwood has created. They want a core assignment for each of these classes, and this is ours. So you do need to submit this at the end of week 7 in order to pass this class, and you need to go see the artwork in person unless there are extremely extenuating circumstances. But regardless, reach out to me and email or Canvas announcements if you have any questions whatsoever. So, quick review of this week. I absolutely love ancient Egypt. Not gonna lie, getting to see the pyramids in person was one of the coolest things ever. I hope you enjoyed all my photos that I put in there. Out of my group of at least maybe 10 or 11 people, I was the only one that actually went inside the pyramid. It was also $14 US. I wasn't not going to do that. But it was pretty intense, I'm not going to lie. You can see from the pictures that the climb inside of it is like a little claustrophobic-y. You're basically walking through like a tunnel the size of like a standard American oven most of the way. And yes, there are people coming out as you're going in, so, you kind of have to wiggle around. And then there's one last part where you walk straight up and down, but it's very, very steep incline. And then you get inside, and the only thing that's there is that big stone sarcophagus, which a lot of people are, like, disappointed with because all of the artifacts have since been removed. But it's still this crazy feeling of, seeing the pyramids in pictures, teaching about it for a decade at the high school level and now at the college level for the past year, and then seeing them in person and standing in front of these things and then going inside and you're just like, well, I'm inside that thing that I just saw. Like, it's a very transportative kind of experience. It makes you feel like you're just like back in ancient Egypt times. Like, it was so cool. I highly recommend. I also got the chance to go to the new museum. I know they're opening up the Grand Museum now. just missed it. It's okay. But the new museum had an entire lower level of, like, I want to say 20 to 25 mummies of all the greats. I saw Hatshepsut's mummy. She's so stinking cool. I can't even explain to you. I saw all of the Ramses. I saw so many. It was awesome. It was so awesome. There's a lot of really cool things that you can see in Egypt. The Sphinx was super cool. I actually got to eat a traditional Egyptian breakfast at the Nine Pyramids Lounge, which is like looking at the actual Giza Plateau, seeing those pyramids. I mean, it's next level cool. I actually was teaching this class in the fall and recorded my weekly summary video in Egypt, so it was pretty outstanding. I definitely had a pretty great school year so far. But anyway, that being said, we are talking about quiz 4 and 5 and discussion 3. So I wanted to quickly go over, just some of your discussion responses. Justin, I really appreciate your ability to convey how amazed you were by the pyramids. I mean, I hope I just did the same, but it really is just one of those wonders of the world. I mean, it totally makes sense why they're on that list. Doug, you mentioned in your discussion and talked about the sculpture of Akhenaten. That is actually displayed in the Cairo New Museum, so I got to see that in person. It has this really epic, like, long poem about his reign on these beautiful scrolls behind him. Akhenaten is just such an interesting character. I really hope you all enjoy learning about him and the way he changed the face of ancient Egypt, like, forever. But then, it went all back. So, I don't know, it's kind of this weird, interesting blip. It gives us a little bit of that, like, reality drama, kind of. I don't know, it's like, oh, like, what is he doing? Why is he doing that? It feels like a Love Island, Love is Blind kind of moment. Obviously, I'm watching reality TV right now. And then Jen, I really love the way that you compared Nefertiti's bust to Mona Lisa, in the way that they're iconic, they're kind of surrounded in mystery, a little bit of that subtle emotion. What a great point, a great thing to notice. I thought that was awesome. And definitely that connection between, like, the gaze of the subject or the observer and the past and the present, the connection that comes there, and that this emotional kind of expression that's on the faces of these ancient sculptures and paintings that were made so long ago. Really, really cool connection. I absolutely love that. And I mean, your kid dressing up as Hatshepsut, what a cool kid. If I ever have children, I hope they're as cool as yours. And then last but not least, we had 2 quizzes. Quiz number 4, I wanted to talk quickly about the primary function of Hatshepsut's mortuary temple. So this is actually something that my high schoolers in AP Art History get tripped up with a little bit. It's called Hatshepsut's mortuary temple, meaning that it's her funerary temple. That does not mean that she's buried there. So it really is more used to honor the pharaoh and conduct rituals. It's not her home. It's a temple to honor her. It's definitely not only for military, and it's not just for trade and worship, though trade and worship were happening there. It's really more in essence of what the thing does, which is to honor that pharaoh. And then last but not least, we had quiz number 5, the Lion Gate at Mycena function. It's definitely for the gate, right? Make sure that when you're looking at these responses, if you see a option in the multiple choice answers that matches the name of the item or the function of the item, not a trick question. Don't get all tripped up by it, but definitely was meant to be a guard or a protective gate of some sort for the city. So great job on week 3, everybody. All the way done. Now we're on week 4, halfway through. This time next week, you will be halfway done with your summer course and looking to summer freedom, though I hope you're enjoying learning about all this great stuff along the way. Keep in mind all my reminders from the beginning of this video about week 4, your exam, those writing assignments, formal analysis paper, and if you have any questions at all, always reach out. I'm here and happy to help. All right, folks, great job again. I really enjoy reading through all of those wonderful self-guided explorations. Notes are outstanding. I have definitely not seen a class or a course of students filling out the context, the vocab, and the formal characteristics or the formal analysis as well as you all have. So just general round of applause. It's really, really impressive, and I'm very glad to see it. So keep up all the hard work, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.